Being a waitress may look simple from the outside, taking orders, serving food, and smiling at customers. But in reality, it's one of the toughest jobs out there. Behind every friendly, "Hello, what can I get you today?" there's an exhausting routine filled with stress, low pay, physical strain, and emotional burnout. Today, we're diving deep into why it sucks to be a waitress, exposing the struggles that are often overlooked. The long hours with little pay. Waitressing often means working shifts that stretch far beyond 8 hours. Lunch rushes and dinner services can blend together, leaving no time for rest. On top of that, the base pay is usually below minimum wage in many places, forcing waitresses to depend on tips. This creates a brutal reality where their financial security depends on the mood of strangers rather than a stable paycheck. Constant physical exhaustion. Carrying trays stacked with plates, balancing drinks, and rushing from one table to another takes a massive toll on the body. Waitresses spend nearly their entire shift on their feet, leading to back pain, sore legs, and swollen feet. By the end of the night, even walking home feels like a marathon. Yet, the physical demands are rarely recognized or appreciated. Customers who test your patience. Every waitress has a story about rude customers. Whether it's people snapping fingers, ignoring basic manners, or blaming the waitress for the kitchen's mistakes, dealing with entitled attitudes is part of the daily grind. Even worse, the rule of "the customer is always right" forces waitresses to smile through disrespect just to keep their job. Emotional labor behind the smile. No matter how bad their day is, a waitress is expected to put on a cheerful face. They have to absorb stress, swallow frustration, and stay polite no matter what. This emotional labor is exhausting, because it requires constantly pretending to be okay, even when customers are rude, tips are low, or personal problems weigh heavily. The tipping gamble. Unlike most jobs, a waitress's income depends largely on tips. Some customers tip generously, while others leave nothing at all, regardless of the service. This creates constant financial anxiety. One bad shift can mean not being able to pay bills or buy groceries. It's a gamble every single day, and it leaves waitresses feeling undervalued and powerless. Juggling too many tasks at once. Waitresses aren't just servers. They're multitaskers who have to seat guests, take orders, run food, refill drinks, handle complaints, clean tables, and sometimes even prepare small items themselves. The workload is overwhelming, and it feels like trying to juggle 10 things at once without dropping a single one. One mistake can ruin the experience for a customer and lead to complaints. Disrespect from management. Unfortunately, many managers see waitresses as replaceable workers rather than valuable employees. They may schedule back-to-back shifts without breaks, ignore harassment on the job. One of the darkest realities of waitressing is harassment. Some customers cross boundaries with inappropriate comments or unwanted advances, and sometimes even coworkers contribute to the problem. Since waitresses rely on tips, they often feel pressured to endure this behavior rather than risk losing income by speaking up. No real work-life balance. Weekends, evenings, and holidays, the times when most people relax, are when waitresses work the hardest. Missing family gatherings, birthdays, or even simple weekends off becomes normal. This lack of work-life balance eats away at relationships and leaves waitresses with very little personal time to rest or recover. The constant pressure of perfection. Even though it's a tough job, mistakes are not forgiven easily. Bringing the wrong order, forgetting a side dish, or being a little slow during peak hours can result in harsh criticism or complaints. Waitresses are forced to perform with near perfection under stress, even though the chaos of the restaurant makes slip-ups inevitable. The lack of career growth. Waitressing is often treated as a temporary job, but for many people, it becomes long-term because other opportunities aren't available. Unfortunately, the industry rarely provides clear paths for advancement. This leaves waitresses stuck in an endless cycle of low wages and demanding labor without the promise of future growth. More than just serving food. Being a waitress is far more than just taking orders. It's a physically demanding, emotionally draining, and financially unstable job. From disrespectful customers to unfair management practices, the struggles of waitressing often go unnoticed. The next time you sit down at a restaurant, remember the person serving you is working harder than you realize. Showing kindness, patience, and fair tipping can make a world of difference in their day.